Hey Tarot Geeks, it's Joe here. I forgot the name of my channel actually. I'm trying to change it because right now it's just my name and everyone else has these really cool usernames and mine's just like Joe Monteleone bland. So I'm trying to change it because I'm trying to do more tarot stuff on YouTube and less dance company stuff because I think YouTube is better for more personal and informal items, at least YouTube. This is Arwen's tarot tag. This is Arwen's tarot tag. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Um, One. What is your favorite deck? My favorite deck is the Thoth tarot deck, or the Thoth, or the Toth, or the Tot, or the Tahuti, however you want to say it. I actually have a video. My last video I made. My last video I made was a review of the Thoth deck because it's just really awesome. And so check that out if you want to. It has a lot of editing and memes in it because I really like memes right now. So I don't know, maybe you might find it obnoxious or fun. I don't know. What tarot card do you think stands for who you are now? Okay, so for right now, I'm gonna say I am the Hermit, I think, because I've been spending a lot of time alone, but more so than that, I'm finding that the time I spend alone, I feel like I'm growing and learning, and my reality tunnel is shifting at a faster pace when I'm alone, and I'm reading and I'm, just like just stating information or just thinking. I've always loved the in betweens of life, like public transportation or waiting for something or any like casual in between where you're not really doing anything but you have time to reflect or read or write or anything. So I'm feeling a lot of potency in these in between alone times, and that's also when I do most of my creative work and planning for choreography and whatever projects I'm working on. Those are the moments where I really get like aha moments. What tarot card do you think stands for who you want to be? That's an easy one. The Emperor. um this is because for a number of reasons. One, I need to I'm working on my confidence um with everything, but in a good way. So I want to have a balanced, pure, and I guess authentic confidence and not like pretend to be confident because I feel like that always leads to egotism and just like it's almost like a self concept that works in a good way as opposed to hampering you. And this has to do more with business relations, communication, marketing, like having a self concept that you use entrepreneurially. Is that the word? As an entrepreneur, you just have to have a self concept, even if it's not real, all of your in your enterprise, and draw a tarot card and tell us how it answers the question, what does the universe want you to know right now? Okay, what does the universe want you to know right now? This is the first time I'm kind of doing a reading or a draw on a camera. This is interesting. What does the universe want me to know right now? Three of Pentacles. Yes, this is one of my favorite cards. Because I am a Capricorn, and then so Mars in Capricorn, that just excites everything. That's just going full force, going crazy, making the thing. I love it. I also see this card as the card of commissions, which I'm really craving a commission right now. Like I'm just really searching for residencies and commissions and all that good stuff. So hopefully this is around the corner. But I do feel this a lot. I also feel like because it's a three, it also has a lot to do with form and understanding and establishing the thing. And I'm actually just finishing a new solo work and just continuing networking, 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 networking. Do you have any cards that you must love in order to work with the tarot deck? Not necessarily, but I do have cards that I look for specifically. The Eight of Pentacles. I love the Eight of Pentacles. Also, the Seven of Cups is a very distinct atmosphere. I think all the cards that have very distinct ideas, like the Seven of Cups, the High Priestess, the Devil too, because the Devil I feel like is so easy in many decks. It's so easy to just make a devil and make it kind of funny or kind of dark, and it's like the Devil is such a complex card. I feel like we can devote an entire lifetime in studying all the sub doctrines and meanings of that archetype and that pattern. So yeah, the devil should really be something really strong and evocative and multivalent, I would say. Multivalency is the word. Why tarot and not some other divination system? Okay, I have a philosophy about this, but this is just what I'm thinking about for me, but I feel like it could work for other people as well. The reason why we love tarot... Okay, I think that the reason why we love tarot so much, as opposed to, and why it's such a popular system, as opposed to the many other forms of divination, is that every time you open up a tarot deck, like a new one, you're opening up a whole art gallery. It's 78 beautiful, usually beautiful pieces of art, and you get to explore each one for a lifetime. I think that's why it's so awesome, is because it combines art with spirituality, so it creates like the most just awe-inspiring forms of art, and there's just so much, and the portability of it too. It's like you're just carrying around this damn art gallery in your pocket. Oh, but it's also like a connection to the spirit world. Like, it's just so many things at once. um this is gonna short anecdote, this is gonna sound so weird, but when I was young, when I was starting to do tarot, when I was like 12 or 13 years old, have you ever had a fantasy where if you're the last person on the earth and no one is on earth to stop you and you could do whatever you want, what would you do? My fantasy would be to run to my local New Age shop and open up every tarot deck and look at every tarot deck. Yeah, I was a nutcase. Yeah. But yeah. What's the first book you can remember reading about tarot other than the LWB? When I got back into tarot, I was reading Tarot Deeper Teachings and Spiritual... Tarot Wisdom, Deeper Teachings and Spiritual Meanings. No, Tarot Wisdom, Spiritual Teachings and Deeper Meanings by Rachel Pollack, I believe. And that was a fun one because she's just very inclusive. And she's very comparative, too, with different decks, which is what I liked. What tarot person would you like to sit down with for a chat about tarot? You might think I'm so weird, but definitely Aleister Crowley. I know. I'm so crazy. No, I really don't love the man, but there's something about him that you gotta just be like, okay, what are you? Like, what planet did you come from? He's just, yeah, I'd love to sit down with him, even if it's a horrible experience. I think that would be funny. Like, or another person I'd like to sit down with is Paul Foster Case. He's a really good one, too. Tell me about one YouTube channel that you watch and why. I'm really into PewDiePie right now because I'm a 12-year-old girl, obviously. No, PewDiePie's the most subscribed to YouTube channel, and he does a lot of video game stuff, and I like video games, and I just think he's beautiful, so I watch him way too much. But in terms of tarot, Sacred Seed, amazing channel. She's just awesome. I feel like because she has so much knowledge of so many areas of tarot. Like, she's the first person I ever watched talk about like Pappas and like all the old school occult figures, as opposed like the pre-Golden Dawn cats that like really got it going. So I always feel like I'm learning so much when I'm watching her videos, and her energy is just amazing, and she's funny and she's great. And she has a million tarot decks. Kelly from The Truth and Story is also really fun. She's great energy. Yeah, everybody really. too many to even say. How many decks do you have? I didn't count, but I'm gonna say about 50 to 80. I'm not too crazy. I guess that's a lot. Um, ish. Do you mix oracles and tarot when you read? I don't. I don't really use oracle decks. I'm like a very system-based person. I really like tarot because of its system, whereas oracle decks don't really do it for me. I think I have a few of them. I have Ciro Marchetti's oracle deck because everything he does is brilliant. But yeah, no, I don't really use oracle decks at all. I might start though, maybe. Have you ever created your own tarot deck? No, I haven't. But I'm thinking about doing a project with another dancer where we just like take photographs of certain shapes and designs we can make with our body and just make like the major arcana that way. I think that would be a fun experiment, like a psycho-spiritual somatic experiment of like how the body can like suggest different archetypes with gesture and form and but I should stop talking about that. Do you read for yourself? Yes, I do. I don't do full spreads for myself, but I very often do daily draws. But it's more as a meditative, reflective practice, especially to engage in something. What are your favorite questions to be asked when you do a reading for someone else? I really like reading for artists and entrepreneurs. Anyone that is like kind of their own boss. I find that very interesting. Any type of creative questions, questions to do with art making, creative process, anything that's like self-directed, magic. What's the craziest thing that happened to you during a reading? So recently I was booked to read at a party. Now, if you let me know if you ever read at parties or what's your take on that? What's your procedure reading at parties? And when I say party, I mean this was like drag show, club, everything. Like super loud. So I'm reading the cards and I'm like like yelling in the person's ear, like very unconventional, very probably the worst reading situations I've ever done. But I'm really happy I did it because I like challenges like that and I like to see how far we can go and how far I can work my practice and be adaptable. And of course, the readings weren't as good as if we were, focused in a room by ourselves with quiet and peace. But in a way, it was a different type of reading. I got a lot of good responses. In that day, the Eight of Wands kept flying out of my deck. So I feel like my tarot deck was being like, trying to get with it, trying to get with the scene. So tarot deck just kept shooting me with the Eight of Wands. So yeah. I forgot to tell this really quick story that happened when I was reading at this party club. So I'm reading for a drag queen, right? And we're getting into it. And then all of a sudden her eyes widen and she's like, hold on a second. She's like, hold on. She gets up. She goes into the crowd, which I'm like right at the edge of the big bubble around the stage, pretty much, which is not a great place to read cards, but you know what? It's the challenge, whatever. She goes to the stage. She performs her whole number awesomely, right? So I'm watching. She comes back. She's getting tips as she's performing, right? She comes back. She sits down, and then she just puts all the tips that she just made on the table and said, "Thank you so much. That was such a good reading," and then left. It was just hilarious. Cool. Let me know your thoughts on anything. I definitely want to engage more with the YouTube tarot community because I just geek out way too much on my own to not. So if you have any ideas about whatever, let's keep the conversation going, and I'll probably do another tag soon. I know this was super late, but yeah, cool. Thanks.